This video is brought to you by Harold Sack, who gave me a massive 1 year's worth of subscriptions on Patreon. Voja, Jaws of the Conclave, versus Balin, Blex, and Kalia. With, I was going to say no early game plays because we don't have any turn 1 mana dorks, but we do have Farhaven Elf from a Sol Ring, so keep that one. Forgot to sort out my basics in this deck, so that's going to bug me for the rest of the game. We get a mana dork on turn 1, so I'm just wondering how quickly we want to get that in. I think I'd rather just fix my colours, so we'll make this a Tricycle land. The only spell on turn 1 is a Sol Ring from the Balin player. And there's an Incubation Druid for us, ready to start getting plus counters, so in typical elf form, we are going to be generating a decent amount of mana. Go for the Sol Ring and into the Farhaven Elf this turn. And looking at the list, we've got more white than red, I think, so I'll just grab a Plains here. Probably play the Boseiju as a land next turn to further fix the green. Golgari Signet from the Blex player. And just like that, it's back round to our turn again. Misty Rainforest can fix some red mana maybe. We can keep hold of Boseiju as long as possible. So in that case, do we just want the Elvish Archdruid here? I don't really want to play into a board wipe, so I think we might just have to leave it there. Incubation Druid we can get down before our commander swings in easily enough, so yeah, we'll leave it at that. Let's just swing straight down the middle, seeing as how that player has gained a little bit of life. Gained it off the Riveteer's Overlook. Phyrexian Arena coming down early enough to make a difference in the game. Seems as though this is one of the players that doesn't like his magic cards to look like magic cards, so might be difficult to keep track of his board. Skeleton Crew. An anthem for skeletons and vampires. Whenever one or more creatures leaves your graveyard, create a 2/2 skeleton. And we see an Arcane Signet over here. Obviously no one's going as fast as us with that Sol Ring, so we just need to hope that we dodge a board wipe now. Roaming Throne, I think we're best just getting down our commander really. Although if we get down Roaming Throne first, then we can tap down Elvish Archdruid for 3 mana and still get down our commander, so that's a more efficient use of the mana. Name Elf, tap this down for 3, make sure to tap Naya and our commander into play, hoping to not see a board wipe like I said. And let's turn into the left with the Farhaven Elf this time. I'm going to hold on to the Boseiju for now, because I don't think it particularly matters that we're a land behind when we're generating so much mana. We might want to use it as removal. Phyrexian Arena triggers for the first time to draw an additional card, so at 7 cards in hand they start off with, managed to make a basic. There's every chance that there's a board wipe, but he's just looking to get down Kalia and swing in next turn. And thanks to our board, I think their eyes are already going to be firmly on us, so I think it's safe to say that we have to swing in at Kalia next turn. Crypt Breaker, and that will tap multiple zombies in order to draw a card, followed by Dredger's Insight. You can gain life with this. When it enters mill 4, you can put an artifact, creature or land from amongst them into hand. So they milled Mana Vault, Animate Dead, a basic and birds. Decide to take the Birds of Paradise. That removed a creature from the graveyard, so Skeleton Crew triggers for a, what will be a 3/3 skeleton. And they do gain life from the enchantment, of course. And play the Birds of Paradise for the end of the turn. And that's what the skeleton token looks like. Swings into the right with the 3/3. So with the white player being last in the turn order, there's every chance that he just buys himself time with a wipe. If not, we're looking pretty damn good next turn. A Perforos, God of the Forge, is a scary one, but not what our opponent needs to be playing really. Unless he's got Call of the Coppercoats or something like that and sees a lot of creatures in play. Something like that could whittle down our board really quickly. Alright, so a Rogue's Passage will be at the land for the turn. And I think I'll just go in for Rishkar's Expertise straight away here. Although we could draw more cards next turn after the buffs. We're not going to get anything down with haste, I wouldn't have thought. So yeah, let's swing in first. Not going to swing in with the Archdruid just to maximise the amount of mana we've got here. Although it does deplete the amount of damage dealt. So swing in with everything triggers our commander. And puts 3+ counters on everything thanks to us controlling 3 elves. So this is where it's really good that mostly useless creatures, once they've entered, like Farhaven Elf, do become relevant. There's an Armorcraft Judge as well, because our commander's a wolf, we do draw a card there. So we could always get down Armorcraft Judge with the Rishkar's Expertise. We're probably going to draw too many cards here though. Let's go for this. Suppose I could maybe have considered the Incubation Druid as well. I'm just trying to maximise the amount of mana that we've got for the second main here. So draw a bunch of cards, get a free spell. Let's see here. Tolsimir is going to be the best use of our mana, I think. So we'll get another wolf into play with that, and don't have to pay the 5 mana for it later on. Triggers twice, but the token is legendary, so doesn't really matter. Although the token entering does trigger our commander twice as well. So we might as well have Voja fight the Kalia first, because it won't die to that. And then it can fight the Birds of Paradise as well. Yeah, if I'd done it differently actually. I could have gone after Kalia resolving first, and then this. But we can do that in a minute. Get rid of Crypt Breaker. A flawless maneuver from Kalia, I'm guessing. So that is indestructible. They're already down to 15 over there, so they better hope that they hurt our board next turn. We don't have any means of protecting ourselves here. So now I'll be more careful about what we target here. Let's go after the Birds of Paradise. Oh, and I've just done it again. I've targeted the Birds of Paradise first. Should have targeted this first on the stack, and then Birds of Paradise afterwards. Oh well, whatever. We'll get rid of the skeleton regardless. Noteworthy, there is a Field of the Dead over here as well. The black mana isn't looking too great though. So then let's just go Elvish Mystic, and why not get the Incubation Druid in play, ready for hopefully being able to tap down for mana next turn, but we're playing into a board wipe, not so bad once we've already refilled our hand here, so we'll pass at that. And I'll discard the Tolsimir. We've already got the decent Tolsimir in. Noteworthy, I didn't keep the wolf in play, so we won't draw as many cards to Voja. So maybe could have kept hold of that, but I'm thinking of discarding it so that we can get rid of something with the Masked Vandal. And Kalia swings in at us. Let's see what they can do. Brings in a Piru the Volatile, so deals 7 damage to each non-legendary creature when it dies. Not sure they'll be able to sacrifice it. If it's in the deck, you would think they would have sack outlets for that. Luckily, we've got some creatures with a decent amount of toughness, but it'll take out everything else. Search for Blex, not playing the other side of the commander, so they've got a sorcery commander here, which is unusual. Look at the top 5 cards, any number of them into your hand, the rest into the graveyard, 3 life for each card put into your hand. So they go down to 25, 9 cards in hand, and their mana's still a bit wonky. Noteworthy that had we have taken away the Birds of Paradise correctly, they wouldn't have been able to play this as a sorcery because it's double black. Gilded Goose is another Birds of Paradise, and sacrificing the food straight away just for life to go up to 28. They've got 7 cards in hand and cannot draw into the black lands. They managed to make a basic forest again. Ohatak is... I really liked the idea of Ohatak, but it's a bit Winmore as far as I'm concerned. Now if you're allowed to slowly set up like our opponent is being allowed to here, then it could be really, really good, especially with a Perforos in play. We might have to exile that this turn, because he's clearly setting up for something. I think before our opponent sacrifices this, assuming he's going to, I'm going to draw more cards with the Armorcraft Judge. He's holding up priority, so he's got something in mind over there apparently. So this will trigger twice thanks to the Roaming Throne not being dealt with yet. We'll draw a bunch. 1 card per creature that has a counter on it. Inspiring Call might help us. Okay, so in that case, with the 2 mana floating, what do we want to do? Shall we just go for the Masked Vandal now, instead of wasting the mana? So that does count as a wolf. It means it can fight something. So we can get rid of both of these dorks over here. Let's just put Tolsimir on the stack first. We can go Kalia first, then the Birds of Paradise, so that Birds of Paradise resolves first this time. Masked Vandal triggers twice, so we've only got 1 creature to exile unfortunately, but we'll go for the Perforos regardless. And now it's Teferi's Protection. So in that case, let's go for Swords to Plowshares onto this thing so that it doesn't wipe the board. Although, it's not going to wipe the board anyway, is it? So do we just go for Kalia? Yeah, I think that's fine. If you can get rid of Kalia at least once, then it tends to really slow down Kalia players. They just tend to be quite predictable, throwing their commander out on turn 3 or 4 and then having it sit there and hope that it can survive. Yeah, so that gets him to scoop. Exile the Tolsimir from the graveyard for the Masked Vandal to get rid of the god, and then we're still getting rid of the Birds of Paradise. Go up to 42 life. And I think we're fine to just start swinging in here. I don't trust that this player won't start going off out of nowhere, so I'm going to turn everything in that way. I want some additional mana, so we'll hold back the Incubation Druid, which is about to get plus counters. Voja looks at the number of elves we have and puts plus counters on accordingly, so everything gets absolutely massive. Might be fun to get this down at some point to see all the plus counters, then we can redirect damage at someone. So there we go, down to -31 and 16 points of commander. And we just need to make sure to hold up the Inspiring Call at this point for Indestructible. Could be a Toxic Deluge or something over here. Let's go Ancient Tomb, play the Wood Elves. That will bring in an untapped forest. 2 untapped forests actually, thanks to that Roaming Throne. So we'll grab a couple of jewels with that. And yeah, our opponent decides to scoop there, so another quick one. Getting a good number of quick videos out recently, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Trying to use some of the older commanders that were popular on the channel before the new Tarkia set releases. Voja was definitely up there as one of the most popular older commanders, so hopefully you all enjoyed it. Let me know as ever if there's anything you would like me to revisit, and hopefully I will see you all in the next video. Big thank you to the patrons as ever. I'm tribalkai. Thank you for watching.